Hey, hey, hey! You're on with me and Morgan for my digital diary. Welcome back, guys. Please welcome our next guest, Morgan
Hi,
Pagel.
what's up, guys? Oh my gosh, I'm so excited to be here.
It's our first celebrity.
Girl, get out of here! No, I'm holding a mirror. It's Ellie.
Welcome back, guys. Hope you had a really great week last week, and I'm really excited to have Morgan on. She is an inspiration for the pod.
Stop!
So,
I love you.
if you've ever heard me mention my friend who has a podcast, or back when I
The
didn't know,
subtweets.
back when I didn't know if I wanted to say names, this is this is the face reveal or the voice reveal.
Oh my
So
gosh, and single.
yeah.
No, who said that? Who said that? I don't know. Oh my gosh, stop. It's fine.
So I'm gonna turn the game on you. Okay.
Okay.
So name, age, relationship status,
Okay.
job, fun fact. This is
Ooh,
Morgan's
this
game.
is this is this is what I do in my small group because people are afraid to socialize these days. Name: Morgan Pagel. Age: 26 years young and
Mhm.
fun. Oh gosh, what was relationship status? Single, very intentional looking. I feel like, which we're not gonna get into all that, but I've been told that I'm very picky, and the thing is, I just want a man of God. You know what? That's high quality, high standards. It's not
Mhm.
everybody. That's what I'm looking for because I'm trying to be that as well. So, what was the
Exactly.
next question, Queen? Sorry.
Job and fun fact.
Yes, love. This is literally my game.
Yeah.
How did I not remember? Yes, I am currently in orbital welding sales.
Mhm.
We love women in male fields.
Mhm.
And I have my own podcast, Keeping Up with Cash, as Ellie mentioned. I do dog sit,
Mhm.
and I have a couple of freelance things I do, freelance interviewing at some sport games and
Mhm.
events, and sometimes some freelance social media. So I am booked and busy.
Yeah.
And a fun fact about me, I want to do something that's like, I don't know. I have done so many crazy things. Okay, well, I'll say one just for the pod, but one time I was in a bad season of life and my crash out was so hard that I bought a dog for 4 days. And at the time,
Whoa.
I definitely did not have I was like living at a roommate and we were just on different wavelengths. And ultimately, I
Mm.
thought that the dog would like heal all my issues, and
Mhm.
it didn't.
Yeah.
So it actually increased them. Like I loved her so much, but she was a puppy, and I just was
Mhm.
like not okay as a human. So Armani, if you see this, please come home. Yes. So definitely had a crazy crash out, but it's okay. So now I'm dog sitting,
Man.
and I will have a dog again someday, but I feel like I need to be settled down, and right now it's like not the journey right now.
Oh yeah.
So
We're in our like freedom, spontaneous season
yes,
of
it's been like
life.
traveling every other weekend, and then the
Yeah.
other weekend is like dog sitting. So
Exactly.
it's just like yeah, booked and busy.
Yep.
But
Same reason I serve in the nursery at church, so I don't have my own baby. I
amen.
just
And we call that servanthood with intentions.
Yes, yes.
I love it.
Yeah. So, um, we have a lot to discuss
Let's do
because
it.
anytime Morgan and I get together, it is just we should be mic'd up every
We
single
should, but
time.
also maybe we shouldn't. Because I don't know. I love those TikToks that are trending where it's like people cancel themselves.
Yes.
I love those. I'm like, yes, that's that's me. I swear, I'm like, God, I'm a good person, but you know what I'm saying.
Right.
Where it's just like,
Yeah. Well,
yeah,
see, I was thinking the other direction. Like, we're so wise. We are just like spitting fire. We're just like hyping each other up,
yeah,
pointing each other back to
right,
God. Yeah.
true. But then we're like, oh my gosh, this guy used the word giggle and it gave me the ick so bad. I just there's you need balance. So
Yes. Yes. We're only human.
we are.
What can we say?
Yes.
So we were kind of discussing, since we talk about so much, what is something that with your experience you feel like you're an expert at,
Oh my
and
goodness. Oh
or
no.
like your perspective on life that you can like share wisdom on how you live away from your family.
Yeah.
So we're here in Springfield. you're not from here.
Mhm.
And so kind of
Amen.
explain your journey of high school to college to where you are now. Like,
Yeah.
what was that journey like?
Thanks for asking, Ellie. Yeah, it was kind of crazy. I mean, just the high level, like I grew up in a Christian school,
Mhm.
switched to public school middle of my junior year. I went through a church split. There was a lot of like depression going on, a lot of stuff. But I do feel like that transition of like moving schools in the middle of junior year, knowing nobody,
Mhm.
kind of prepared me for moving to Missouri knowing nobody.
Yeah.
So I'm like, "Hi, my name's Morgan. I'm half Latina. I love Taco Bell." Like this, like just getting
Yeah.
used to kind of being like, "This is my resume." Like putting myself out there and making new friends, like as an adult. And then when I graduated college, I knew always knew I wanted to be out of state. I think like and now going back to Green Bay as an adult, I just love it so much more. I think there's like
Mhm.
feelings of nostalgia of my youth and also just when I go to Green Bay, it's like home and it's slow and it's
Mm.
relaxing
Mhm.
versus having this other version of myself in Missouri.
Yeah.
And so I did go to Evangel for college. So that God did awesome things, opened those doors. A lot of healing happened in my life. I originally came to study youth ministry, and while
Mhm.
I was there, I've navigated my calling with amazing mentors and resources, and being like, okay, I'm gonna major actually in communication because I don't necessarily
Mm.
feel called to be a full time pastor, and then minor in youth ministry. And so
Yeah.
I've been in Springfield now for 9 years, which is actually insane.
Yeah.
I only wanted to be in Springfield for 4 years. Clock it.
Yep.
But recently God's really been telling me like you've had to be here so you can change.
Mhm.
And you had the space to grow and be a leader. And even I just like Ellie, like 2 seconds ago, I went to Walmart and I met this like young adult girl, and she's
Mhm.
Christian and she's gonna come to our small group. You know what I'm saying? Like I
Yeah.
don't. If I'm being used in so many chess pieces that God is moving, and
Mhm.
Springfield, I understand where it's hard, even though my desire is like live somewhere else. So don't know if that answers your question at all, but it has definitely been a journey coming from Green Bay to Springfield. There's moments where, especially in the beginning, I would ask people from in college to like send me letters because I missed it. It's
Yeah.
hard being away from your family. I think some people don't understand that like dysphoria of being like I love my parents and I love this so much, but I
Mhm.
also feel so called and like have this something in me that like wants to be international and be around the world and do all these things, and feeling like am I bad for missing out on these
Mhm.
moments
Mhm.
for doing other things that I'm passionate about and I love. And so it's something that I think most entrepreneurs, travelers, people will often face, but
Mhm.
it's something that ultimately it's like you got to obey whatever God is telling you to do.
Exactly.
And I've been so blessed in the role that I have right now that I've gotten to go home more to Green Bay than
Yeah.
I probably ever have. But now it's like, all right, no, I gotta go now. Like, see you in a couple weeks, and
Right.
that kind of thing. So,
Yeah. So, thank you so much for telling us more about
oh
you.
my gosh, Ellie, anything for you, girl?
um,
Yes.
so now we can dive in to our expanding my taste segment. So, Morgan, what did you bring for us today
Oh
for our
gosh,
audio
guys. This
listeners?
is the budget 101. So, actually, I hung out with Ellie this weekend and I was having an amazing acai bowl from the one and
Mhm.
the only Modern Sips. Shameless plug.
Yes.
Um, yes, I love healthy foods and like protein and things that taste yummy and fruit. And so I was on a budget tonight, so we did get these acai bowls from Walmart, and it was not the brand that I love. Shout out to Aldi; they have a way better brand.
Mhm.
So the acai honestly tastes a little crazy, but Ellie's never had an acai bowl before, and we
Mhm.
need to change that. So I told
Yes.
Ellie to make sure she tries other ones because this one is definitely a 5 out of 10. But it's still good. Praise God that we have food. You know what I'm
Amen.
saying? So
Amen.
yes.
So what's funny is I had told her I was a little nervous that there's gonna be bananas in this, and and we looked, there's no bananas, and then she tastes it and she goes, "Oh, I think the base may have banana in
Mhm.
it."
Mhm.
So I have it all mixed up. We've got acai, we've got strawberries, blueberries, granola. We added some peanut butter.
Yeah, I have to have that peanut butter.
So let's see. I'm
Should mix it up.
gonna get a big bite.
I'm making direct eye contact with Ellie as she eats this. Go ahead.
Mm. Mm.
And remember, the base is not, oh, you don't like it at all.
Mm.
No, not at all. You don't like it? It's okay. I know the base is not.
Mm-mm.
No, can't do it.
Mm-mm.
You know, guys.
It tastes burned. Oh, I think that's the granola. It's supposed to be roasted, maybe,
Maybe.
but it is
Oh no.
no.
The base is not. So the way I eat it is I have like my peanut butter. So with touching the granola and touching that. No, the
I'm
base
gonna.
is this base is really bad. Like I have to say that. Because like
Mm. Okay, I went in too strong of a bite.
okay,
That was my first
and maybe if
mistake.
you put more peanut butter in it.
Because if I'm just trying to taste the base,
Yeah,
I can definitely taste banana.
I
But
know, girl,
I
I
can
know.
I can kind of. I'm like, there's a flavor here I've never tried before. I'm trying to pinpoint that. I'm like, do
Mhm.
I like that? I
I
think
really do think that you would like it. Like if
like
the
a
banana is way overpowering. Like I'm not rocking with it.
yeah.
But
I trust you.
I'm telling you, I'm taking you to modern sips. I put a lot more peanut butter than you, and I feel like it's helping me.
Mm,
But
yeah.
I'm telling you, I'm taking you to modern sips, and you build your own. And that acai is
Mhm.
so good.
Yeah.
No banana. Yeah.
Okay.
Mhm.
I'm
So
excited for
all right,
that
give me
day.
my score.
So this is not a reflection of you. This is a reflection of
It's just like
should we
school.
should we drop the brand?
Oh, do it. Gosh.
This is a direct reflection of Dole
Mm,
Acai Bowl Original
yes.
from Walmart.
Yes.
Um, well, since they spit it out, I think it has to be a 0
Okay.
because
Well,
that's the rating. If I keep it, if I hold it down in my stomach, it's a 1.
I didn't get any negatives, so no, I'm fine.
Yeah. So I'm
I
sorry.
think the only thing worse than spitting it out is eating it and 10 minutes later spitting,
Mm.
like throwing it up, you know. So I think that would
Yeah.
be like jail, you know.
Right. Yeah.
Okay,
Like
well,
never allowed back on the pod.
you know, it's not me, it's just Dole, you know.
Right.
So
Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah.
but you are open
Well,
to trying it again.
yes.
Okay, all
Yes.
right.
From an authentic place.
Yes, modern sips. Yes,
Yes.
yes, yes,
Is that
yes.
the that's not the place with like no, that's called Scoops and Sips.
No, 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 no. This is downtown. This is
Yeah.
right by like JOB. And remember when we thought your car was stolen that one time? It's like right over there.
Over there.
But
Yes.
oh,
So,
good times.
man, well, thank you. Anyway,
Sorry that I couldn't fill your stomach and your heart.
it's okay. Well, let's dive in to our breaking news
Let's dive.
segment. So, kind of getting back to this whole journey on your own, spreading your wings, flying. What made you decide to not go to college in Green Bay or even in a surrounding
Yeah,
area? I mean, you're pretty far. Like, how many
right.
hours?
It's about 11 hours. Yeah.
Was
No,
it
that's a really great
specifically
question.
Evangel or did you like this area?
No, actually,
No to both.
definitely. But no, definitely was not the area. I don't know. I think because when I left my Christian school, my private school,
Mhm.
and went to public school, I picked a public school because there was all these ones near me, but I picked one that was so.
Wait, you
so
got to pick your high school?
yeah, I mean, like technically, I lived in one certain district,
Mhm.
but I lived so close to two other schools that
Oh.
technically I could have. Like, you technically can go to, like, whatever school.
Hmm.
There's just certain transfer rules and
Yeah.
laws. So, like, at the time I mean, yeah, honestly, you can go I mean, I don't know how that is in Missouri or whatever, but, I mean,
Mhm.
especially if you come from a private school, I feel like you can
Oh.
kinda just do whatever. But, yeah, so I picked a school that was 20 minutes away from my private school because I was
Oh.
like, if I go to these popular schools, it would be like the equivalent of, like, if I go to, like, Nixon Ozark, I know I'm gonna party versus if I go
Mhm.
to, no disrespect, like, Seymour, like so my high school is actually called Seymour as well
Oh,
in
yeah.
Wisconsin, yeah, and so I went 20 minutes away from my house, and I didn't know a single person, and it's kind of a country school, and,
Oh.
um,
I'm learning new things about you.
Yeah, and I just was like, for me, I was like, I'm gonna make new friends, but I am so locked in with like my church camp friends and everything
Mhm.
going on. Like, I don't necessarily need new friends. I would like
Mm,
to make them, but like, I'm not
right.
seeking others' approval, you know.
Mhm.
And so I went there, and it was a great decision. Like, I feel like God like just worked in my heart a lot. There were a lot of things I needed to experience, and I needed to be in that environment. But I always knew, I think, like, just being young, and Wisconsin's so cold. Like, it's just
Mhm.
so cold. But
Yeah.
I do love the Packers and I do love the summers, but I always knew that I wanted to like be in a warmer environment. So when I was first looking at colleges, first I thought I was going to go to a ministry school in Dallas called Christ for
Mm.
the Nations Institute.
Okay.
That I went there, I thought you can only be a good pastor if you went there, you know, and that's
Oh,
like not
mhm.
true. But I went there and it wasn't really my journey. Like it was just more of kind of like a technical school ministry wise.
Mm.
I'm looking for like a 4 year ping pong
Mm.
intramural
Yeah. The
situation.
college experience.
Yes.
Yeah.
And I looked at some schools in Chicago, and I just like we grew up non-denominational. I didn't know anything about Assemblies of God, nothing.
Mhm.
And then my pastor at the time, my youth pastor who became senior pastor, he was like, "Well, I'm from St. Louis. Like, have you ever heard of Evangel?" At the time, I was really lost on like what I
Uh-huh.
was supposed to do. And
Yeah.
so he's like, "You need to fast. Like, you need to lock in
Mm.
and fast." And so he said, "You have all these scholarships coming up because it was March of senior year."
Mm.
I know. I
Wow.
was like late to the game, girl. Oh yeah, everyone out here in Evangel's like, I already was a founders. I'm like, no, I literally was like, okay, I need to like lock in on a college. It was
Yeah.
March of my senior year, and all these scholarships are due. I'm
Mhm.
tripping, and he's like, you need to fast and you need to not apply for scholarships for like 2 to 3 weeks, and I'm like,
Oh,
hoo, hoo,
wow.
hoo, hoo. And so I started fasting and praying and really being like, okay, God, I'm trying to trust you in this, like because
Mhm.
in my head, which it does true, like where you go to school defines so much of your future. My best friends are all from
Mhm.
Evangel, like my memories, my experiences, my
Yeah.
mentors, the job from this area. Like you could build this whole life based on where you live. And
Yeah.
so he was like, "Well, have you heard of Evangel?" I said, "No." I saw the website immediately. I was like, "I need to go on this tour." We book a tour. My
Yeah.
dad and I like spend the weekend, and I'm like walking down the campus with him, and he's like, "So, do you think that this is where you want to go?" I
Mhm.
said, "Yeah."
Mhm.
I said, "This is home, and I feel peace here."
Yeah.
And I didn't know anybody,
Mhm.
and that was that. And so it was just a crazy journey, and Evangel holds like such a place in my heart. You know, like I
Mhm.
love that college, and even
Yeah.
though every place has highs and lows, like
Mhm.
I loved it. So
Awesome. I mean, I felt very
yeah.
similar. We're from rival colleges. I'm
Yeah,
from good old
yeah.
College of the
Except one of
Ozarks,
us has debt, the other one doesn't.
but you had a football team, so.
And therapy. I'm just okay, I have awesome friends.
So I remember, like, I was such a nerd. I went to like every single like college, like when the colleges would come and your counselors would like set it up, and you could go and hear the person from the college talk. I went to every single one
Wow. Okay.
because because
Committed.
I'm
Love
like,
it.
I need to know what's out here. Can you imagine? I'm sitting at the Missouri S&T one, and it's me and five boys that are all like, "I'm gonna be an engineer." I'm like, "I'm gonna be a teacher," and yeah, I'm glad I didn't go there. But but
I should have. I'm just kidding. Engineers are hot. Okay.
honestly, but like I heard about C of O, and they're. I mean, it sounded too good to be true. They're like, you don't pay for your college,
Right.
and only 9% get in, and you work for your college. And I was like, I need to figure out what this is about because this is insane. And so I go on a tour, and it was all set up for Honor America, and so it had like this whole like patriotic thing going on. I said,
Yeah.
Mom, it's like Silver Dollar City College.
Like my
I love
nightmare. My gosh. Bass Pro University. No, no, I'm playing. I really rock with Bass Pro though, I'll tell you that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And so I felt the same way. I was like, I feel so safe. There's no fraternities or sororities for me to get drugged at a party, and I'm like, this is awesome. Because I grew up in a strict family, strict high school. Like I thrived with rules.
Mm,
Like that's where I felt safe to take like my first steps out of the nest.
yeah.
And yeah, I felt the exact, just felt right at home. And
And that's like when I first got to Evangel, especially as a freshman. Like I literally felt like it was church camp
mhm.
every day.
Yeah.
And oh my gosh, I do actually have a story to share if you like don't care.
Please.
Oh my gosh. This is so like sad girl, but I
Oh, no.
remember freshman year, like the first few days of college. And some people know I had a lot of stomach puking problems. And so I struggled with that for a couple years, but like for the majority of like my adolescence, I just would have like very irritated stomach from acid or anxiety.
Mhm.
And I remember like I like this guy kind of on my like launch group and he kind of liked me, but then like day 3 like he's already like giving me like this ghost vibe or this complication, you know, and you're a freshman. And I remember I would have so much anxiety, not about him, but
Mhm.
like being the first day of school, you know, and then like
Yeah.
having a crush and seeing him. And I just remember like I would just I think there's like a vivid memory of me and my roommate, and I think I was going to the nurse's station because I had rolled my ankle also the first day of
Oh,
school, like rolled down the stairs,
no.
like fell
Oh
down the
my
stairs.
gosh.
But I remember I like felt like I was throwing up. I just remember me like holding a box, and I think it was like a throw up box. I don't know. It was so weird. It was just one of those memories that I was just like,
You
what?
think about before you fell asleep?
Yeah, I don't. There was so much oddness going on. But freshman year, like you just look back and
Mhm.
you're like, who was that? Like,
Dude, I don't know if my audience knows this, or even I think you probably know this, how like C of O has like character camp week. So freshman orientation was a week long.
hmm
And it was like you have your mom and your pop and you have your 9 siblings and it's like a family thing so your mom and pop are like upperclassmen
hmm
and you do like all these things together. You do like an obstacle course together, you do trust falls, you like put each other over like 10-foot walls, like all this crazy
you're going to war
stuff.
together.
Yeah,
Okay.
pretty much. And you just met them and they're like holding you like a bride and you're like, "I never touched a boy before. And now he's holding me." Like, what is going
She's like
on?
getting sweaty and like, she's like, oh my gosh, I think about my husband.
Literally, it's so yeah, it was quite the experience. And you
Dude, that was
just have
always the lore with
oh.
Evangel was like anytime
Mhm.
you like talk to a guy,
Mhm.
like in the back of each other's heads, it's like, is this the one? Like,
Yes, I know. Right before spring, it was a thing.
yeah. Then it was like I called it like wedding cake before fall break, like because my
Ooh, yeah.
junior senior year people were getting engaged like by fall break, and I'm like, this is
Wow.
wild.
Whew.
David's bridal sale, fall
Yeah.
sale, you know.
Exactly. So we are like doing all this stuff together. I mean, we're spending like 12, 15 hours a day together. Like
Wow.
me and our families, we would. And so my pop was like, "Look, I'm gonna give it to you straight. Your freshman year is your only year to get out your weird awkwardness, weird like cringy stuff. After freshman year, you can't be that way anymore. You have your freshman year to do all of the stupid stuff, be cringy, all that stuff, learn who you are, and after that you have to be cool. Like that's
Honestly, it's
just
true. It's true.
yeah.
It is. Yeah. You know, and
Yeah.
I just it's like one of those things that you just like you have to go through that stuff
Mhm.
when you're young. And I think some people
Mhm.
like I mean we're in our what mid to mid-ish. We're 26. So it's
Yeah.
like
Mid
not late
20s.
20s, but we're like mid 20s,
Yeah.
yeah. And it's weird because, you know, yes, the frontal lobe develops at 25. I feel that for real. I
Absolutely.
totally feel it.
Mhm.
And but I don't know, like with men, people are always like, "Well, oh my gosh, he's too young," or like, "You need a guy like this." I'm like, "How come I hung out with a 28-year-old and he definitely was not acting like a man, you know?" And so I just
Mhm.
think, and there's some guys that are 22 that do, and so I really
Mhm.
think it's just about the individual person's maturity and like their
Absolutely.
heart and where they're at and that
Yeah.
kind of thing. Like that's what it is. Like when we're young, at least for me, like oh my gosh, I got played so many times,
Mhm.
and now being 26 like now it's just like not
Mhm.
that serious like it's like
Right.
okay because we're like I don't have time for you to waste like
Exactly.
when you're yeah when I'm 21 sure you can Snapchat me on a streak for 200 days and like and just send your face and I'm gonna think oh my gosh this guy likes me you know but at 26 I'm like oh you have Snapchat like
Honestly.
I'm like don't talk to me like
Don't ask for my snap, that's so gross.
why do you even have that app like no like I'm just like Bible app and Strava okay.
What's wrong?
That's the running app, you know.
Ew.
I don't
Well,
have
I
it,
guess for
but
a
if a guy
guy.
has Strava, I mean, Slay King, you know.
Yeah, for sure. Okay, well, so I guess kind of going along with, you know, going through things, learning things on your own in college, like what was that like being away from, like, your brother and sister and your parents, like, going
Yeah.
through seasons of life where that really molded you and shaped you.
Yeah, I think being away from my family was such a hardship, but also a blessing in college. I think, like, when I was in high school, I really did not tell my parents, like, very personal information about me.
Yeah.
Like, they never knew who they liked, like, they never
Mm.
knew, and my sister would just tell them everything, and I was just
Mhm.
so, like, protective over myself, I guess. I just,
Mhm.
like, didn't, and, like, we're all humans, my mom would sometimes, like, share things, and it would bother
Yeah.
me, but, I mean, I
Mhm.
wasn't perfect, and so I just in college, like, having that distance from my parents really allowed me to be able to call them and run to them, because I think, like,
Mhm.
in college we don't talk enough about how much of a mental, like, challenge it is. I mean, in college was the first time I, like, really liked guys, and I really was like, I have a connection with this guy, and I
Mhm.
don't know how to do this right, or, like,
Yeah.
I'm going through a friendship breakup, like, I'm
Mhm.
having to deal with class and I'm depressed, and all these things. And Evangel was really great because, like, they did have counseling resources, which I went
Mhm.
to. I mean, it was, so so, but I ended up getting an amazing mentor at Evangel that just has been such a light in my life and really
Yeah.
helped me, and cultivating great friends. And so I think it is really hard. Like, I had to be really intentional about, my parents and I, we call once a week.
Mhm.
Honestly, 26 now, we're calling, like, every other day. My
Yeah.
my dad texts me all day, like, not like we text every day. It's not like an all day thing, but we text. My mom and I, we call,
Mhm.
and, like, being that kind of intentional and,
Mhm.
like, talking so much, and they come for the podcast party now and that kind of stuff, and so they would visit me. Like, it really made a big difference because
Mhm.
we got to really grow as friends, and
Yeah.
it's hard. Like, you have to be able to know when you're not okay and you need to ask for help,
Mhm.
and so I just think back to myself, and I would, like, have my little journal, and I just remember I was sad all the time. But
Aw.
it's just because it's like you don't know you're being played. You don't
Right.
know, like, that you're in situations that are not healthy. You're just feeling it for the first time. And so,
Yeah. It's almost
yeah.
like distance made the heart grow
It
fonder.
did, and I
Mhm.
think that's why and not to be like, "I'd never wanna be in a long distance relationship." I think some people I understand, like, it's great to, like, be dating and be pursuing, but sometimes I think,
Mhm.
like, for Christian couples, a long distance relationship, like, isn't the worst thing, especially if you, like,
Mhm.
struggle with physical touch,
Mhm.
And so it did make the heart grow fonder. You have to be so much more intentional,
Yeah.
and I don't know. So,
Yeah.
clock it.
So it takes intentionality to connect
Yes.
when there's not the convenience of living with them anymore or just, being down the street. I know for
Yeah.
me, like, I I was only 2 hours away. Now I'm an hour away. And I feel like I was able to really form my own identity
Yeah.
separate from my family, which my family is very much a jigsaw puzzle. We're all very, very different. It's not like we're all Christian and we all go to church and we all do
Yeah.
this. Like, because of all the divorce and things that happen, like, we all kind of had to stand on our own for like different seasons of life because of all like the breaking and putting pieces together and all
Yeah.
that. So, like, my faith was really, I mean, yes, going to a Christian school, like, it was, I mean, kind of like having a parent there because
Right.
that's the vibe of the whole place. Like, that's the purpose of going there. But I got to wrestle with things on my own and
Yeah.
reach out to people that weren't my parents for wisdom and things like that. And I think that I I mean, thinking about myself, first few days of college, it was my birthday, first birthday spending by myself, crying my eyes out, to like graduating and like all of the hardships that God and I went through together. And like, because we had Baptist Student Union and Chi Alpha, so there's like different theologies and everybody, so
Mm.
you kind of got to like hear from all sorts of things
Wow.
when maybe like I grew up pretty much in the same church most of my life. It's complicated. I
Slay queen.
but yeah, you just have like, I don't know, you get to form your own faith
Yeah.
for yourself.
When
So,
I think I don't know how C of O was, but, like, Evangel, they would recruit a lot for sports, like, in different
mm,
countries or different states,
mhm,
and so being from Wisconsin, like, so many of my friends were from Dallas, Louisiana,
mm,
Tennessee,
mhm,
sometimes California, and so it didn't feel like I was some odd person out, and there's people that went there that, like, would go to their parents' house on the weekend, then you have people that we don't, and
Mhm.
so it was because it was kind of a smaller college in the
Mhm.
beginning, it was so cool to, like, you just know everybody, like, it was so fun. Definitely, like, as I was getting older, it was a lot harder being smaller, like, with drama and stuff like that, but
Yeah.
it I feel like it like you said, it really formulates you and pushes you, especially if, like, you don't work on campus and, like, you're working in the
Mhm.
community. I mean, oh my gosh, like, all the connections I have because of the million different jobs I've worked since between then and 26. I mean,
Yeah.
I'm dog sitting now, and I haven't even had to use Rover yet because
Right.
I'm
All your
just all
connections.
the word of mouth and, like, meeting
Mhm.
people, and I'm like, "What a blessing." Like, God is just like, "Here's the favor of you being diligent in Springfield for 9 years." Like,
Yeah.
yeah.
So people that don't feel like they have community or don't have their people, what is like 'cause it comes very naturally for you.
Explain.
So,
God gives.
what is like what's like a practical step, first
Yeah,
step people can take to
that's so
try
good.
to cultivate community?
And shout out Vika, shout out the Bible, because
Yes.
like you do not receive if you don't ask. I
Mhm.
mean, sometimes you can receive stuff, but like if you are really wanting something, you gotta go for it. And
Mhm.
so, one, I think if you have just enough confidence to go up to somebody, so for example, like I do lead a small group at church. So
Mhm.
even one of our good friends, Vika, like she joined and came up to me and said, "Hey, girl, I'm trying to be your friend. Like I'm trying to hang out with you." I'm like, "That's great." This has happened to me before at the gym. Girls will be like, "I saw you go to the same church as me. I want to hang out with you." I'm like, "That's great." I've had
Yeah.
girls message me and be like, "Hey, I think your Instagram is really cool. I'd love to get coffee with you sometime." And I've
Mhm.
done that to girls too.
Yeah.
And guys, I actually did that with a guy. It didn't last, but like it worked. But what I'm saying essentially is I think we're so caught up. Like even playing pickleball the other night.
Uh-huh.
I mean, we like played with different people and we're like, "Hey, you want to play around?" And you're like, you're talking to them, getting to know them, and I'm like, "This is so simple. Like, why is it so hard for
I
for us
know.
as Gen Zers to be like, hey, like, hey, stranger, like, my name is blah blah blah. Like, would you want to join
Yeah.
us?
Mhm.
And even tonight in Walmart, being like, hey, would you want to join my small group? And so I think
Yeah.
one, whether like you're posting your social media, like, hey guys, because a lot of times, if you are feeling lonely or feeling something in your heart about like I'm missing community, there is somebody else that is feeling the same exact way. So
Yes.
whether you feel led from God to start something, then start it.
Mhm.
If you feel like you think someone's cool and you want to hang out with them, ask them to hang out. Like
Yeah.
that's so I
Just
think like in terms of community, that's what I do. Once you get bolder in being able to step out, I go to things alone. Like not in a
mhm.
dangerous way, but like I am
Right.
not afraid to have dinner alone. I can sit at the
Mhm.
bar. Like I'm not afraid to go to things alone, like depending on what it is. But
Yeah.
a lot of times, like you are able to network and meet
Mhm.
people because sometimes it's like, oh, I want to go to this concert. Well, nobody can go. Am I just gonna miss this concert I want to go see? No, go.
Exactly. Yeah.
And so I know you did that,
Mhm.
and that's iconic. And so,
Yeah. I met that random lady in Trader Joe's and sat in her car
yes,
for 4
that is
hours.
really dangerous of you. Yes. But she felt discernment and she was
Yeah.
fine. Yes. But that's the thing is I think we just have to cultivate a culture of like if you
Mhm.
want community go get it.
Right.
And that was one thing that like we wanted so badly is I was like I need more Christian friends. We need to be talking about God. Like we don't need to be out
Right.
at the bars. Like we need to be
Yeah.
praying for each other.
Yes.
And that's why, instead of being like wow, Springfield has no Christian guys, it's like believing like okay, like there are men that are growing in discipleship and leadership and stepping out. God's doing what he's going to do. And
Yeah.
so
And where are those
just
people at?
we're praying for them. And
Like, they're not gonna be at the bars.
right.
They're gonna be at, revivals. They're gonna be at
Yeah.
conferences. They're gonna be Wednesday night at church,
Yep.
all these.
Holy smoke.
Yeah!
Yeah.
We're praying.
Yeah. Exactly. Like those kind of people, like they're not going to be fiending for the next hookup, like
Right.
at the bar. And so why should you
Yeah.
be there? Right.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, and I think too, like the more you do it, the easier it gets. Like
Yeah.
those first few times are gonna be like, oh, that was weird. But like
Yeah.
I don't know, just keep trusting the process because if, like you said, we have a loneliness epidemic, and
Yes.
it became very clear in COVID.
Yeah.
And I think a lot of people, their go-to is to find community just in social media and not bringing it in real life.
Yeah.
And I think there's a lot of value in having real life connections, like meeting up with people in person and like
Yeah.
walking through life with people. So just being bold and
And
in
yeah.
your own way.
And God taught me so much about social media. I think if anyone here listened to my podcast last year, we did an episode about how I got hacked on my accounts. And then
Mhm.
a few days later, a coworker of mine had passed away. That was my friend. And it was a very
Yeah.
insane episode. And at the time, like, I literally did feel, like, very proud of my social media
Mhm.
self,
Mhm.
and when I got hacked, it just felt like a big spiritual thing, and it felt like the
Mhm.
Lord showed me, like, "This is not your identity," and we went to church, and that church, Peter
Oh
clocked me
my
and said he
gosh.
was like, "Imagine if your whole identity is wrapped up in your social media and you lose it in an instant, what do you have?" And I'm sitting here and I'm like, "You have nothing, right? Like,
Yeah.
it's not your whole identity," and so I feel like God's really taught me, like, "Yes, I will bless this, but
Mhm.
it's not who you are. This is
Right.
a platform of the same way that you're a vessel, your social media is a vessel to get the word out to other people,
Mhm.
you know? And so that's, but 100%, like, we're going to use that, like, hey guys, let's go on a prayer hike, or let's go do small group, or like, let's go pickleball. And you never know who's watching and that kind of thing. So,
Right. So when it comes to friendships, you have this ease to meet people and bring people together and,
it's
you
girl.
know, all of those things. What's your discernment look like when you're like, okay, who do I
Mm.
want to build a deep friendship with? Who do I
Yeah.
want to walk through life with? And like, maybe it's not actually maybe it's more of a subconscious thing or more of a gut thing, but like, what does that process look like? Because, I mean,
Yeah.
I think about whenever we met at small group,
Hmm.
it was a thing where I was like, "Man, like, I loved my small group in high school, like, I'd love to have one again." Just joined the one that matched with me on Connect's website,
We both
and
swiped right.
yeah, and I show up, and it was really fun, and I was
Thanks,
like,
girl.
"What if, like, these are my friends?" I'm like, "That's so weird." Like, I don't I mean, maybe, but, like, you just 'cause I just felt so other, and you know that. It was just such a high school weird thing, but I'm like,
We
I
rebuked it. It's
yeah,
good. We're
yeah.
past
So
it.
it's
Yeah.
like, I don't know if I think I would be shocked. Like, my past self would be shocked that we are as close as we are because
Mm.
you were just up here
Get out
and
of here, Ellie. You're such a baddie. I love you. I literally love hanging out with Ellie. Like, Ellie just says whatever she thinks, and it's
yeah.
so iconic. It's so hilarious. It's amazing. No, and you're so spiritually strong. You
Mhm.
know, I think it's hard. I mean, friendship is hard. Like, especially when you're so tight with so many people. And I think, like, when God does radical things in your life and you've seen miracles with your eyes, you've experienced them in yourself, you
Mhm.
see men of God, you see these things, and maybe some of your other friends haven't seen it, haven't
Mhm.
experienced it, and they don't have that same relationship. And I think it's hard when maybe you change and they don't, or
Mhm.
whatever, or God's changing in them, like, whatever it is. So I think it is hard. I think you really have to have discernment, and I think you have to, like, almost hold your friendships in the palm of your hand open,
Yeah.
where God is like, "Okay, God, I'm giving these to you. Like, you
Mhm.
show me how tight you want it to be." Because I've had friends where we were so tight and we're still tight, but it's like we've kind of had to navigate. We're like, "Okay, maybe I'm not going to you anymore for advice. You're still like my person, but like I
Mhm.
need more sound advice." And I think as I get older, the more that I want to be around people that edify me more, honestly,
Mhm.
that I like learn from business wise or
Mhm.
spiritually, that make me laugh and have fun and have joy. I don't do the drama. I don't like,
Mhm.
and not that like like I'm friends with all kinds of people, all
Right.
different types of religions, walks of life, different
Mhm.
journeys. And I just have like respect for everybody. And I think that we're all on different paths, but also, there is that line of like when it comes to intimate friendship and like who's
Mhm.
gonna see you cry and like who's gonna talk to you in those moments. Those are where I'm like, okay, I really have to have people that were on the same page, and
Mhm.
maybe friendships that we were more based on partying or things like that. Like maybe
Mhm.
we just aren't as tight and we, that kind of thing. Because
Mhm.
if God's calling me to take bigger faith, like leaps of faith in
Mhm.
action, and we're gonna go to Walmart and pray for people, and we're gonna ask God for words and like all these
Mhm.
things. I need people that are gonna be like, I'm there with you, and not being like, wow, that's like really weird, That's okay
Yeah.
if you think that way, but like,
Mhm.
I don't want you in my close circle.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
yeah.
I've been through a big transition, with changing jobs, and so with that and joining Connect kind of in the same couple of years, like, I'm starting to see how I've, like, kind of two big groups of friends,
Yeah.
and I'm starting to see how differently they show up in my life, and it was made very crystal clear to me when I brought all of you together.
Mhm.
I didn't realize
Period.
um how just how different they were until they were side by side, and I was
Yeah.
like, "Huh, it's just very interesting." And so like I'm noticing now, like, what do my friends invite me to? Do they invite me to dinner to talk crap on somebody that we hate? Or am I getting invited to a dinner on a random Sunday night to
Yeah.
have fellowship and, just be with like strong women?
Yeah.
What conversations are we facilitating?
Yeah.
What's the purpose of this friendship? Like, I'm just starting to see that, like, really there was such a difference, and I'm
Yeah.
like, "Okay, I want different things now." And,
Yeah.
and well, I think it's just so clear, like, some friendships are just
Seasonal.
convenient.
Yeah.
Yeah, because it's like a proximity thing.
Yep.
You work with them, you live on their same floor, and I'm like, we do go to church together, but, like, we just are so intentional with time outside of church that
Yeah.
that's not really even
Right.
why we're friends.
Right.
So,
Right. For sure. And I think, like, I know for myself, part of that small group ministry is I just have such a burning passion for helping disciple like women of God. And so
mhm.
I just think there's so many amazing women that are in our circle. And like I just started with social media, and then I made an Instagram group, and I just added people that I thought
Oh
should
my
be in my
gosh,
small
yeah.
group.
Yeah,
I'm like, you
yeah.
can unadd yourself, but I'm gonna add you. Like
Yeah.
and and like consistently posting it on social media and making videos. We had girls I've met that have come that literally just saw a video of it from downtown,
Mhm.
like just crazy work. And so God is so good, and everyone comes in their own season. But I think that's something is sometimes someone just needs to hear another woman believe, like, oh wow, you're actually trying to obey what the Bible says. I always
Mhm.
feel like even in Christian communities, I'm like, you can do this and this, but we don't do that. Like that's weird. And it's
Mm.
like, well, actually, the Bible says that and actually has a purpose, and there's a reason psychologically and spiritually why we're doing this,
Yeah.
and it's obeying God. Like there's nothing weird about that, you
Right.
know. I mean,
Yeah. So kind of shifting a little bit, it's August 4th. We are coming up on a new school year.
yeah,
People are moving into college dorms soon if they're not already. So, what advice would you give somebody? We've talked about friendships and moving
yeah,
away from home. Like, what, somebody fresh out of high school, they're about to start this new season of finding themselves and potentially being away from home where there is some sort of a accountability,
right.
or, you're pushing boundaries, you're trying to find out, what life's about.
Hmm.
What advice would you give
Great
them?
question. One, I'm gonna say everyone's on a journey. So
Mhm.
you're gonna be on a journey, but
Yes.
the things that I felt like I was proud of myself for doing was one, finding a church right away. And you don't have to
Mm.
always like as a freshman or whatever your journey is, like you don't have to do what everyone else is doing. You don't have to. Like
Mhm.
you can go find a church that you get fed at and you can see yourself serving at. And I did all kinds of extracurriculars. Like
Mhm.
I just did a bunch of stuff. And what
Yeah.
the benefit of that for me was like I was friends with the sports people, the arts people, the theater people, like just having this a whole group of friends because you're a freshman, so it doesn't really matter. And so I'm
Yes.
like, go do the things, go in the local communities, go get a job
Mhm.
outside of campus, like expand your network because then
Yes.
once you get like older into college, then you really refine your friends and you really kind of hang out in your circle and you really do more in your major. But
Yeah.
just have so much fun. Be open
Mhm.
to what God is doing, like if you're not okay, like communicate that. But
Mhm.
really, like you are gonna be 18. Like be in school. Just be
Yeah.
open to whatever God is telling you to do with your future
Mhm.
and have fun. Like that's the year to have fun. And so I think
Exactly.
some people hop into relationships really quick, like we said, ring by spring.
Mhm.
Everyone's on their own journey. Me personally, I'm really happy I didn't fall too fast like that in the beginning years because I have grown so much as a person and I've gotten to do so many things.
Yeah.
And I've seen people have amazing marriages since college. I've seen people already go through divorces. And so I think
Mhm.
like if it is the man of God and you have peace about that and there's so much clarity there,
Mhm.
amen,
Yeah.
but if there's things where you're just hopping in it because you're trying to obey and not give in to something else, but there's not been enough time
Right.
really, like if there's not great intentions, then don't.
Right. Yeah. And I mean, I know for me, it was literally like, oh my gosh, this is a whole new world. There's like a whole new town of men.
Oh my gosh. Yeah, because
I
when you're
was
like a
like,
freshman, when you're a freshman, you can
just
be like
kidding with
seniors, juniors,
surroundings.
sophomore, and freshman. And then you're like a
Yeah.
senior and you're like, oh, I can't, oh, shoot, I can't talk to a freshman. Like, I mean, did we sometimes? But it's like,
Yeah. So
yeah.
I was so like eyes peeled, like any guy I came into contact with. Do I like him? Do I like him?
Mm.
Do I like him? Do I like him? And
I do miss the networking aspect like that of college. Now it's like, oh my gosh, there's like two guys in my gym. Like,
yeah.
there we go. That's our pod. So,
Yep. But I'm just like, I mean, no amount of advice would have had me not do that because that was just who I was at the
right.
time. And I had to grow into that and out of that and into something else. But like, just, I think college is just such a great time. You have so much access to people that
Yeah.
you don't have once you leave. Like, you live next door to like so many people that are
Yeah.
your age and like are doing a lot of the same things as you are, and you have all these events and things that I'm like, I just really would wish for any college student to just like focus on figuring out yourself and just meeting people, finding friends,
Yeah.
and the whole dating thing. I think the pressure of dating and all of that, like, sometimes can kind of put unnecessary stress or like a damper
Yeah.
on things when like it could just be like so much fun and carefree, and
Yeah.
you're not like, I mean, every college girl cries themselves to sleep over a boy, but like, but like as much as you can, just like, I don't know. I loved just that was when I finally had guy friends for the first
Yeah.
time. I
Yeah.
mean, granted, it was my like three of my girlfriends, and it was all their boyfriends. But and I was the
Right.
only single girl. But but
You get a girl.
it was like, wait, like guys are so fun. Like they're not scary. Like
Yeah.
it's just like cool to like get to know people from all different places. At C of O, it was so cool because like there was really no cliques. It was like, in high school, it was like the athletes were up here, and
Mhm.
I was in theater, so I was way down here, and, like, it was, like, this whole hierarchy of things, and so at C of O, it was very much like everyone talked to everybody, like,
Nice.
it was very small and close-knit, and everybody was banding together about how awful it was to be there
Wow. Slay.
because of, like, working, and the classes were so hard and everything. We guys kind of there's, like, a trauma bond, I guess, but
Yeah. No, I think you're so right. And I did go on a lot of dates in college, and I think that was nice because I feel like in high school I didn't really date much. I definitely like liked different guys and went through all of
mhm,
that, but I definitely like went on a lot of dates. And I think that was nice because it
mhm.
is nice to like be pursued and like navigate like what I
Yeah.
like, what I don't like learning how to end it with guys. And
Mhm.
I think also communicating, if you have a roommate and it's not going well, whatever, like learning how to be like, hey, I don't like this, or like, hey, can we do this? And I also
Yeah.
think like finding that one-on-one time with God. Evangel has
Mhm.
like at least when I went, they had like chapels in each floor or
Oh,
whatever, like on the
wow.
mid floor, and so like little tiny ones, little depot rooms, and it was so cool. Like they had like a book, and so you could go in there and shut the door and you could just like worship God or pray, little
Mhm.
prayer room. And then like they had this book and you could write down what you wanted to pray for. And so going back like years of just seeing people be like, I'm
Oh,
praying because I'm
wow.
depressed, I'm praying I'm suicidal, I'm praying for a man, I'm praying this. And so there were
Mhm.
just a lot of moments where like I loved the space they gave to
Mhm.
really like be alone and like
Yeah,
cry out with God.
absolutely. So, let's kinda I cannot believe we've been talking for 54 minutes. It feels like
Slay.
5.
So good.
Um, let's transition into our third skill segment. So, what has God been showing you about dating? Your what is something that you're going through right now that you would be willing to share? Like, what's
Yeah.
your journey with dating right now?
Ugh, oh my gosh, my coworkers literally clock me every day because I think it's definitely been a journey. Like I said, like I never pictured myself in Springfield this long. I literally am a
Mhm.
mermaid. I mean, okay, I do. One of my celebrity crushes is literally Rob from Love Island. Like I don't know what. So like there is a part of me that does like kind of like a country guy, but it is not like in a redneck way, like it's in a Slay King way, like, yeah, like,
Like a
just
handy way? Like he
yeah,
can
like,
fix
he
stuff?
not like a crazy beard or anything,
Right.
but yeah, he was, like, manly and
Mhm.
touch the animals and protect me and that kind of thing,
Yeah.
but I just, there were some years where I was in toxic things and I went through a lot of healing and I didn't date for a while and then I would go on a lot of dates and then I was in party phases and then I think the past couple years have just kind of been like couple different dates here and there. I'm really intentional, and I
Mhm.
think some people use apps and it's awesome. Maybe if I was like in a different city. I just think for me, I'm chronically online. I feel like if somebody wants to reach out to me, they just would.
Mhm.
And I do think it's hard. I think we can put pressure on men. I think they are
Mhm.
really scared of women talking about them on social media
Mhm.
and
Mhm.
whatever it is. I don't know. But also I'm a sales girly. So I'm just kind of like I feel like if a dude really wanted to talk to me or hang out with me, he just would. And
Mhm.
so I don't know. I think a lot of what I've learned is maybe God is isolating me in certain areas so
Mhm.
that I can be most effective and also learn how to trust Him. I think
Mhm.
dating is one of the things that I really struggle with trusting God in.
Mhm.
I've learned so much in the past few years of like what a godly man really looks like, and also
Mhm.
like as a woman, I know there's a few things that I'm really learning how to be slow in and trust God in and really surrender. So
Mhm.
I mean, yeah, I don't know. I
Feels
I
good.
guess I don't really date, I guess. I mean,
Yeah.
I am open to it for sure. And I am picky, I'm just like whatever. But
Mhm.
yeah, I don't
I mean, we're only supposed to have one.
right.
So, I mean, it's like the most important decision I think you'll ever make.
Right, and that it's
So,
like I also work out at this amazing gym, and there's so many women I'm friends with that are older than me, and
mhm.
a lot of them are single and they've had different journeys. They've gone through divorce, they've gone through never
Mhm.
being married and stuff like that, and they're always just having so much fun. And they always
Mhm.
just, they tell me certain things, and they're like, "It's crazy how blessed you are to go through so many hardships or like toxic things being young because
Mhm.
you can catch all these red flags by
Mhm.
26. Like that's incredible." And I'm
Mhm.
like, "Wow, I never thought about it like that."
Yeah.
And so I just where I'm at right now is honestly creating a prayer poster, and I am praying for my future man specifically, for my future in general, like
Mhm.
for friends in my life, for my parents, for my family, like for all the things that like I really really want to believe in and pray and just trust God in. I'm going to be praying for that daily. For
Yeah.
real. And like I have a vision board and I've seen my literal things on my board come true this year. And so to visually see that, I think it's going to
Mhm.
be awesome. So yeah, I mean, I'm just looking. Everyone, I think people are like, "You're so high maintenance." No, I'm looking for like a strong man of God who, yes, I have preferences, but I'm like,
Right.
yeah, who's confident, is a hard worker, knows who he is,
Yeah.
and has like bears fruit of the spirit. Like I
Mhm.
think it's really that simple. I mean,
Yeah. I mean, there's so many questions you can ask yourself that I've seen online where it's like, think about the guy you're dating. If your son ended up just like him, would you be proud?
right?
Different things where it's like you can kind of check yourself. Like, there really is, like, there's just so many hardships that you go through in life. And who you have by your side
Yeah.
is so important because, like we talked about, safety is like my number one thing. There have been so many seasons of life where I did not feel safe, and like I was
Mm,
going through seasons where I felt very alone. And so the man that God has for me, like that I'm going to wait for, like he will just hold this safe place for me where if I go through something, he's not gonna call me emotional. He's not gonna ridicule me. He's
yeah.
not going to tease me about it. Like there's just, and some people, like I think about my older sister, this was a long time ago, she would talk about how she would have anxiety attacks and she's like, I need my husband to say, like, basically knock it off. And
Hmm.
like it's like basically kind of telling the anxiety to go away in like
Yeah,
kind of
like
a
rebuking it.
harsh
Yeah.
way. Yeah. And I'm like, I don't know how I feel about that. But that's
I'm
because
like, yes and amen.
like every relationship's different. And
Yeah.
so I just am like, this is the man I'm gonna raise my children with,
Yeah.
whose DNA is going to be in my child. Like, I th I just am like, isn't everybody picky? or maybe not. Like, I feel like we should be. Like, I think
No,
that's
we
just the
need to
norm.
be. No,
Yeah.
we need to be. And I was actually listening to a podcast um by Mia Fields. I don't know if you
Mhm.
I've never heard of her, but it's really good. And I haven't heard her whole story, but I think she waited a while, I think it was like early 30s until she met her man, and then she also struggled with infertility, and she talks about asking God like for a husband, and even the analogy of she's designing a house, and he's like,
Mhm.
any of these couches at this furniture store would be a good fit for you. He's like, but
Mhm.
if you want me to partner with you and custom build you a couch, you're gonna
Mhm.
have to. It's gonna take some time because custom things take longer, especially in the world I'm in with equipment.
Mhm.
Custom equipment could take up to a year versus you can get something else within like weeks, right?
Yeah.
And so it's like if you want to fully trust God, I know I could go down to shoot, like I mean, I probably just go downtown and walk the street for like 10
Mhm.
minutes, and hey, sir, want to go on a date? Like, I mean,
Yeah.
we can make something happen, right? But
Yep.
I think like if I'm like God, what's your God dream, and I'm gonna be patient and trust you,
Mhm.
that takes a lot more of waiting on God for that custom of, hey, this is a
Right.
person that's going to complement you and build the kingdom and be the
Yeah.
light. And I agree with you too. I think like I want like to feel safe as well. There's something about feeling like physically and emotionally safe with a man that is
Mhm.
that's, like so beautiful and attractive.
Mhm.
I just think I know like
Yes.
I resonate with you because I think there have been some moments in my life that have been a little bit like emotionally, what's the word, distant, or
Mm.
I think sometimes I've been like attracted to men that are emotionally distant, and
Mm.
because of that, it feels like sometimes I like was always like just having like scraps and like just leaning on those things,
Mhm.
and then I've also gone on dates with men that aren't like that, and they don't play games, and they don't think like that, and they just
Yeah.
are way more sure of themselves. And I'm like, well, this is awesome. Like, I want this kind of guy. And then, obviously
Right.
things don't work out because, God's protecting you. But
Yeah.
it's those kinds of things where like women, you want a guy that's gonna say he's gonna show up and show up, and you can
Mhm.
tell you feel safe emotionally and being like, hey, like I
Right.
trust you, and not like, oh, I'm making me feel bad for
Right.
for for expressing how I feel about something.
Yeah. And I this season of singleness, I just tell myself, I'm like, I'm just getting so much more time to make myself like such an amazing wife.
Yeah.
Like, I'm getting more time to cook as well. You know? He's also designing
Cook.
me, I'm also
Yes.
custom built for
Yeah.
my
That's
man.
what I'm talking
Yes.
about.
So like I mean,
Yes.
Peter, I will never forget this
I was
sermon.
like, in the Bible?
No.
I'm
No,
sorry.
like, Pastor Peter, if you're listening, Pastor Peter, maybe you do. Hi. Um, um, I've brought it up so many times, but like, I just remember he was like, "We're gonna talk about marriage," and I literally look at my friend, I'm like, "Ugh, seriously," and like, didn't think it applied to me at all,
Right.
and I was just so annoyed. And he just really laid out like how men and women are built differently by God
Yeah.
and what they need in marriage. And I realized that I was showing love in the way that I wanted to receive love instead of thinking
Yeah.
about, okay, what does my boyfriend need? How does he need to
Yeah.
receive love? So I would like write love letters. I would be like super like
Say it.
like
Say it.
kiss him all over his face, like things that
Yeah.
are like super cutesy were like maybe he didn't need me to show up that way,
Yeah.
but I wanted him to show up that way. So
Yeah.
instead of communicating that, I just thought, "Oh, my actions will show him." And
Mm.
that's not like so this time that I've had of being single and having people pour into me and going and looking up research and reading books about dating and listening to podcasts about dating,
Yeah.
like just filling myself with wisdom from
That's
God
right.
to be prepared because when I find the one, I want both of us to be so ready for marriage and so ready for that. Like we've been poured into, we've been discipled, and then we just have to meet one another. And like, I mean,
Yeah.
obviously it's hard work, but like, we don't have to wait 3 years to be ready for marriage.
That's right.
We're
That's right.
later in life a little bit.
Shorter
And
runway for sure.
yeah, so I'm
Yeah.
like, I'm just so I I don't know. I just love being single and like
I
all of the
know.
gifts that It does have gifts,
Bro,
but
I know,
like
because
I
sometimes
am.
people are like, "Oh my," like, especially, like, I went to a wedding, everyone there is so awesome, but, like, majority of my community in Springfield is, like, single people.
Mhm.
Majority of my community in Wisconsin is, like, taken people. And
Mhm.
they're like, "When is it? Really? Nobody?" And I'm like, "Yes, I know, for real." But but the thing about it is I'm like, "Man, I am traveling every week, essentially
Yeah.
every other week. It's been or every 2 weeks, whatever. Definitely once a month, baby. Praise the Lord. I've been praying for that."
Yeah.
I have such amazing friends. Like, I'm dog
Mhm.
sitting, like, trying to make money, and I think the way that I see it is it's such a timing thing
Mhm.
because I just know in my own life, like, even, quitting drinking and, like, really surrendering so many things,
Mhm.
certain things only happened a year ago.
Yeah.
And just the way that you're growing that trust with God in different jobs I've had and left and gotten. And it's like, it's all a timing thing that in my timeline, if it was 6 months earlier, I would have missed it. And so I think
Mhm.
there's times where God is like, you have to go through this season of testing to learn how to do this when I bring you this blessing in this a time frame. Or do
Mhm.
you trust me? Do you want this? Do you want the gift more than you want me? Or I need your focus
Mhm.
to all be on these women right now in your present season because
Yeah.
this too will come. And the podcast I listened to essentially was like, you need to know what the promise of God is that He's given to you, and then pray, like resiliency, and like pray with everything you got
Yeah.
over the promise and what God, because then God gave me this promise.
Mhm.
It's going to come true. It could be in 40 years, it could be in 4 days, but I
Mhm.
think that's what's also been really helping me is I'm like I'm having so much fun.
Uh-huh.
Because if we
Yeah.
know like, oh, God's going to bring your person in 3 years, oh, the way that we would act different. We'd be like, "Oh, okay, well, I know it's coming." But,
Mhm.
ultimately God's plan is the best plan for us. So it's like
Right.
we need to walk and act like we already know, like it's
Yeah.
whatever's plan is going to come to fruition. So just
Mhm.
lock in on what He's given us.
Absolutely. Yeah.
But yeah, Ellie and I are learning how to. We want to learn how to cook so we can
Yeah.
be better future wives. So, and also like make
Yeah.
food that like tastes really amazing. Shout out to Ashley. So
Yes, yes, we
yes,
need to get her to teach us.
yes,
I got home from our pool date the other day
yes.
and I was on Pinterest and I was like, I have so many recipes saved that look so good. But I'm like, I need to actually get to the store and like make them because they look so yummy.
Well, if it makes you feel better, I meal prepped, and one thing was a great, and the other one I definitely screwed up the whole recipe. So, it's okay,
Oh
but I'm still gonna eat it because
no.
we're on that budget. We're not wasting this house.
Dang. Yeah. I can't push myself to do that.
I know. Shout out Dole.
It's so sad. Okay, so talking about discernment, waiting for the right one, what advice would you give to somebody who is being pursued by a man? And it's very easy to a guy likes you and you're like,
Yeah.
oh my gosh, let's date, let's do everything. Like, and we don't even think to pray about it, or we don't even think
Yeah.
to like look
Yeah.
for. You have the rose colored glasses on, everything, every red flag is pink now, and it all
Yeah.
looks fun and all of
Yeah.
that.
Well, one, I think a lot. I mean, I think the Bible is such a guidebook, right? And
Mhm.
so I think that one, we want to model both of our characters based on the fruit of the spirit and what wisdom looks
Mm.
like.
Mhm.
And even looking at these references in the Bible, what does this man's strength look like? Like, what is his,
Mhm.
love for God? Like, what is, and when we have these biblical characters that we can get so much insight from.
Yeah.
I think there's core things, and everyone has their own journey. But I mean, is this man going to church with you and like leading
Mhm.
with you? Everyone has their own different types of relationship styles and stuff. But like, is this man gonna pray for you when you're up and when
Mhm.
you're down? Is he
Mhm.
leading you to the Lord? And I don't like. I mean, there's certain things where I have not been in a very serious, healthy Christian relationship because I really am like
Mm.
I've always been the kind of person where I'm like I don't want to have 14 of the same love stories. Like I've
Mm.
kissed a lot of frogs. I've definitely made mistakes, but it's like I know that whatever God has for me is going to be so one of one and custom that
Mhm.
I don't want to have five of the same like inside jokes with these different guys. I want one
Yeah.
dude that gets that.
Mhm.
And so I think as a woman, you just have to understand your boundaries. You
Mhm.
have to understand like if you want a godly relationship, are you going to model the Bible?
Mhm.
Are you going to do what the Bible says? And I think people are so afraid of that, but really, like, welcome it. Have
Mhm.
accountability. And there's things that I'm learning. I mean, I'm reading marriage books, and I'm reading
Mhm.
things about, women and couples. Couples are like, we only go this far, and
Mhm.
one girl, I was watching this one video, and she said on her first date or whatever date they were on, but talked about like physical boundaries, that she let the guy tell first like what his boundaries were,
Mm.
because she
Mhm.
didn't want to tell him and being like, oh, okay, I'll go that far, and after
Right.
he told her, she was like, well, that's exactly what I was going to say. That's perfect. And
Mhm.
like having mentorship, like you want to win, whether
Mhm.
if your parents are in a healthy relationship or you find other relationships that are healthy,
Mhm.
asking them to be mentors for y'all, and having good couple friends and like different things. And so ultimately it's like, if you because you can be a Christian and not live for the Bible, right? Like
Mhm.
you can have it in your bio, you can have the tattoos, and
Yeah.
you may not even know God, right?
Yeah.
You're just
Mhm.
a fan. And so I just think we have to model it by the fruit.
Mhm.
And truly, like when a man is leading you like that, it's easy to submit and serve, and all
Amen.
these things when you know where his heart is, and you know when he hears from God. And so
Yes.
yeah, I think as a woman, I don't know, I haven't really been in that situation yet, but
Mhm.
I learned so much about myself, and about like what slowness looks like with God,
Mhm.
and like what lust looks like, and what all these things. And so there's just bits and pieces that I learned, but I know if the
Mhm.
Bible is our guidebook as a single person, a married person, a widowed person, like whatever it is, that's how we want to model a relationship, right?
Yeah.
Is like how God tells us, like respond like this, love like this, show
Mhm.
up like this. And
Yeah.
so, yeah, I don't know.
Yeah. I One thing that I learned in my past relationship is just what being a leader actually looks like.
Yeah.
And so I showed up so ready to obey God that I accidentally became the leader.
Yeah.
And I set all the boundaries. I set all the intentions. I I literally said, God will reveal things about yourself that I've asked him to reveal of you, and that will be proof if you can be my boyfriend. It was three
Clock
things.
it.
And I was like, God, if this is my man, he's gonna do these three things. And it was like character stuff. Like
Right,
he's
right,
going to
right.
have these three things, and I'm not gonna tell him. And funny enough, he showed those things for about a week.
Yeah, that's a good one too. That's a good one too.
So it just I I think me like I'm currently on an app, and I
Yeah.
am meeting people and putting myself back out there after not doing it for a while.
Yeah.
And I've just really tried to be slow in revealing things about myself and asking them questions. What boundaries would you like to have?
Yeah.
What things do you um prioritize in yourself or in relationships? And I mean, they will share, because I think girls and guys, if they really like someone, they'll change for them, but it only lasts so long.
Mm.
And so going into something like, man, do I like them? Instead of, oh, I hope they like me. Like that was a
Yeah,
big
yeah.
shift I had to learn. And so just asking questions, and you'll see that some guys, they'll be like, well, what do you think? Like instead of answering the question,
Yeah.
they just they volley it right back to you. And I'm like,
Right.
we're like playing hot potato. I'm like, no,
Yeah.
what are your boundaries in
Yeah.
a relationship? Because they don't want
Yeah.
to get it wrong and lose you,
Right. Right.
And
Yeah.
so just that was one big lesson. I mean, there was a lot of things that I think I, in the wisdom that I had then, what I think God blessed what I was doing, because I was doing what I thought was obeying God, and it did have a lot of good, but it didn't allow him to show, well, it did show myself how much of a leader he was, which
Yeah.
wasn't what I was looking for. So what I'm looking for is somebody who already knows how to be a man of God, how
Yeah.
to lead a woman in a relationship. And so being the woman, taking that step back and seeing, is he going to put God in the center of our relationship,
Yeah.
instead of like, as the woman, you always putting it in the center, putting it in the center,
Yeah.
putting him in his
Yeah.
place. So I didn't realize I needed to learn that until that experience, and I was like, oh. it's just like that's
Yeah.
just the Christian journey, I feel like. You think you're obeying God, and then there's, like, a next level, and you're like, "Oh, I actually there's a different way to, like,
Well, what's
obey
that
God."
the phrase is pressure makes diamonds,
Mhm.
and that's so true because I mean, Ellie knows a lot of my journey too. Listen to my podcast, you guys. That's
Mhm.
where I just
Yeah,
overshare way too much,
that's the
and
lore.
that's the therapy where the internet gets for free. Subscribe. Yeah, but I mean, I think there's been a lot of like warfare seasons I faced of
Mhm.
temptations that are the hardest ones I struggle with this year. And I literally like you get so blindsided by what like the enemy has like his hands on you, and then God is like, no, and just not giving into it. And in those
Mhm.
moments, I've learned so much about like this is just what gratification looks like. It's like, come on, you did it in the past. You did this. Like, go
Yeah.
do it. And God is like, I made her new.
Yeah.
Like, that is not what her man is. Like, this is not who I created for her. This
Mhm.
is something that is just lustful.
Yeah.
And so being able to overcome that, I was like, wow, like that was some crazy warfare I faced. But it felt like even when Pastor Peter was talking this Sunday, like talking about like masters and slaves
Mhm.
and in terms of like your sin, being like
Mhm.
I'm a slave to this sin. That's
Uh-huh.
how it felt, and it felt like when I went through that warfare that God like broke the shackle off and was like, we are done with having this kind of relationship with men.
Yeah.
Morgan is made new, and in a pattern of where she used to always go like this, she's turning right,
Mhm.
and that was huge because I'm like, wow, it's crazy to be like, I was almost so close to like, it's just crazy to see how the enemy can have like try to such a have pull on you and how he's so close to getting you. But then,
Yeah.
like, just God is so powerful and just and it saves you and takes care of you.
Yeah.
And knowing that he's the best, and he
Mhm.
has the best plan. And I think the right relationships, like they foster like I said, the fruit of the spirit. It's going to foster joy and peace. So if
Yeah.
you're in a relationship and you're confused
Mhm.
and you don't have joy and you're crying a lot, it's probably not the right one. Oh my
Mhm. Yes.
gosh.
Amen.
I mean, once I got out of those things, I was like, wow, I'm actually just happy and I'm just like sitting by myself.
Amen.
But I'm by myself. And so yeah,
Yeah. Uh, well, we just dropped so much wisdom for free on the internet,
so much
so
lore.
you're
It's
welcome.
26-year-olds in the 417 area. Yes.
Well, let's wrap it up by sharing what are we watching, what are we listening to, what are we digesting right now.
Yes.
So, book wise, I have a funny story. I don't think I've shared it on the podcast yet, but I opened my book the other day and all the pages just started falling out.
Yeah.
So I had to throw that book away and re-download it on Kindle. So I
Period.
am still going through that book. It's a the people I've been reading the same book for like a month, so
That's
that's
me, but
about
like
where I'm
4 years.
at.
Yeah.
Still chugging away on my KB books. Still chugging away on
Nice.
my thriller. I always have a nonfiction and fiction book on at
I
the
love
same
that.
time.
Good palate cleanser.
Mhm.
Yeah. I read and I well, when I'm reading the Bible, I'm in Psalms, and my this lady I was dog sitting for, she's so cute. At one point, I was trying to read the Bible all the way through, which I still want to do, and she's like,
Mhm.
"Oh, where'd you start?" I was like, "First Peter." She's like, "Why'd you start in First Peter?" And I was like, "That's just where I was. Like that was the
Oh,
verse of the day, and I just kept going." And she
yeah.
was like, "That's so weird." I'm like, "I don't." It's type B personality,
Hey, I
but
mean, that's some good stuff. Those letters, they
it's
hit.
good stuff.
Mhm.
I read a rom-com on vacation and it was good. Like I couldn't put the book down, but it was also fictional that I was like cringed out at the same time. So I
Mhm.
I don't know, it's kind of like this acai bowl. I can't stop eating it, but it's not good. Yeah,
Yeah.
the Bible, I'm in Psalms right now. I just like Proverbs is probably my favorite book in the Bible. I
Mm.
love it. Like just if I
Mhm.
could get the whole thing tatted on me, I would. Just wisdom, but I think Psalms is such a like worship book of
Mhm.
praise and talking, all the things like he is my fortress, he is my refuge, he's all these things. And so that's what
Mhm.
I'm reading. But I have other like ministry books or also like sales books. Lore. Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah.
TV wise, I am guys, this new job is so crazy. I've watched a whole season of Vanderpump Rules in 1 week. And it's
That's
allowed.
crazy.
It's like
That's nuts.
I think it's just cuz it's like kind of the equivalent of like data entry. You just like type all day and like nobody talks to each other. Oh, for the most part, some people do. But like So I've been getting through Housewives like crazy. Um, so yeah, I'm about to finish season 4, I think, of Vanderpump Rules. It was a wild season, and it's just they're so lost. It's so kind of sad to
Yeah.
watch. It's just crazy that people live like that. There's like everybody's cheating on each other and getting drunk, going to jail. Lots of
Mhm.
crazy things that are going on.
It's
And
wild.
then rewatching The Office because I'm in my Office era.
Yes.
So been doing that. What TV are you digesting right now?
Um, Summer I Turned Pretty. I don't love
Mm-hmm.
all the curse words and stuff, but there's like so many this season. The Office. I'm watching Heart of Dixie again.
I've never seen
I just
that.
like love a TV show that doesn't make me think and that has like
Mm-hmm.
a slow burn love story. I just eat
Yeah.
that up. Yeah, I did ask my
Nice.
coworker. I do like love a rom com. Like I love The Notebook, and
Mhm.
she, I was like, "Girl, give me all your like love story movies I need to watch," because I never watch movies. My
Oh, really?
ADHD is I just get like so bored, and so.
Mhm.
But I'm like, there's a lot of really good movies that I just haven't watched because they're older, and so she gave me a
Mhm.
list of like 10 things. So I'm like, you know what? I need to watch these.
Yeah. See, I have to be in the most like confident place in life to watch a rom com, or else I'm just gonna be
Mm,
crying all night about how sad I
yeah.
am to be single.
Mm,
Even though I love being single, like seeing love,
right.
I'm like,
I know. I do feel that.
like just every time I see the episode of The Office where Jim kisses her at the like the party or whatever, and then she like goes back to Roy, I'm just
See, I was
like,
never like a Jim and Pam lore person.
really.
I'm a Michael and Holly person.
I do love Michael and Holly. I just watched the episode where he goes to like win her back and he finds the letter on her desktop that she
Mm.
like did never sent him, and Pam is like,
Yeah,
"Don't give up. She still has feelings for you." And I'm like, "Yes!"
I know. I love him. I don't care what any haters say. He's my favorite character besides Creed.
like um movies wise, I'm about to go back to the theaters. I need to at least like 3 more times just to sob through Fantastic Four over
Hmm.
and over again. Cuz and I've never been that type of person to have to see a movie multiple times, but like when it's action like that, and I mean, it was a life altering experience. I
Hmm.
can't I don't really know why,
Yeah.
but I'm like I have got to, cuz you can only do it so often, then it's out of theaters forever, you know? You don't get it.
I mean, you could always just rent the theater. Yeah, you can
What?
like rent the room. I mean, yeah. There's like smaller ones at Alamo, but you can
Wow.
like get a private
I
room.
didn't know that. Oh, well, I watched the Idaho murders documentary that came out about that Brian guy.
Yeah.
It was a little frightening.
Yeah.
But I like true crime just enough to where I'm not afraid to sleep at night by myself, but like it's like I don't know. I
I
am
can do true
fascinated by
crime when
it.
it's like a documentary. Like I don't want any lore. I just want facts. I want the facts.
Mm-hmm.
If you put any kind of like visual and I'm like if you try to tell me a
Oh,
story, no. I don't want a story. I
really?
want to hear the facts of what happened. If you're like, "Oh, this is what happened. This is how he killed. This is what it did." If you're like, "It was a stormy night." I'm like, "No. It's over.
What?
No. I'm scared."
That's oh,
I'm scared. I'm
okay.
scared. Yeah.
I get that. I get
Yeah.
that.
So,
Any movies for you? Not really. What were some of them on the list that you want to?
let's see here. Okay, couple of different movies. Mr. Wonderful, Wild Hearts Can't Be Broken.
Hmm,
The maybe that. Hold on. Maybe she sent me more, or she was just like saying them to me. Maybe
I haven't
I
heard of
don't know.
those.
I know they're. I think they're older.
Oh,
I don't know, but she was like, "Girl, you have to watch these."
see, I love like When Harry Met Sally. That's one of my favorites.
That was it. I guess you must have told them. I forgot to write them
Mm,
down.
27 Dresses. That's another one of my
mm,
favorites. That one makes me cry because of one scene. Um, 13 Going on 30 is like my
okay,
all-time favorite movie.
I
So
can see that.
like I watched that when it came out and I was what, like 6 probably,
Oh my
and it was
goodness.
me and my mom's movie, like, growing up.
Aw, that's
Yeah, and
awesome.
Mark Ruffalo has a soft spot in my heart. I love that
Aw,
man.
right.
And music. I I think I mean, it's kind of the same as what it's been the last couple weeks because I was in my Y2K era of decorating my cubicle, I was like, oh,
Mm.
Y2K music was so good. So I've just been like throwbacks.
Yeah, my music is all across the board because it's something you guys know I did stop listening to secular rap, so that
Hmm.
has been a journey. So, like,
Oh,
if
it
I
wasn't.
literally pull up my music right now, it's like top songs right now, Creed, Say It Ain't So, Achy Breaky Heart, Billy Ray Cyrus, tons of worship music. Bro, I'm like pumping like old Skillet. Dude, it's like 7:30. It's like not even. It's like 7:10 a.m. I'm driving to work and I'm like, I
Wow.
feel like a monster. I know, I do not care.
I love it.
Missouri's making me so like mildly Zonti. I'm wearing Zonti shirt, obviously,
Hmm.
but just like making me so like mildly country, like Megan Maroney and do like some Zach Bryan and stuff like
Hmm.
that. And so yeah, I don't know. Forrest Frank, I like Forrest Frank. He's a
Hmm.
king. But
Thank,
yeah,
thank you, Lord, for healing us back, so I can follow him on Instagram again.
literally, that is like, such a beautiful miracle.
I I haven't watched that video because he showed it again where he broke his back. I said, please stop.
The video
My
actually
eyes.
wasn't too bad. I didn't see any blood or anything.
I
Uh-huh.
don't need blood. It's
Just
just
a
the
snap, a
inside.
snap.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The men being in pain makes me
Huh.
sad. If it's a good guy.
Empath.
Well, this has been a time.
It's been a fun time, honestly.
I am so glad that the world is getting to hear our friendship recorded on the internet forever.
I love a digital footprint.
We're about to do it
Yes.
again.
Yes. Ellie's coming on
So
my podcast.
yeah,
Super excited to have
collab.
her.
It's
Giving
like
him a cash.
it's like the old YouTube collabs where like they would
Yes,
do it.
girl.
Yeah, I love it.
Love mixing
So
streams.
yeah, I will tag her podcast in the show notes again, so you guys can go listen to that. Who knows when it'll? I don't know her upload schedule, but
I know.
you guys will know on my Instagram and
It's been a
Facebook.
journey, you guys. It has been a journey.
So, well, thank you so much for being on.
Of
It was
course,
so
thanks for having
fun.
me. Sorry, the acai was not the best in the world.
Well, it's about that counts.
Thank you.
So I hope you all have a great week, and we'll catch you back here next Saturday at 8 a.m.
Bye.